6 flavors.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
Under Sheriff Roundtree's leadership, gang violence has been reduced.
My major objective has always been to reduce crime and to protect our citizens.
Keep Sheriff Roundtree as your sheriff.
Let's bring it home with your vote on June 18th.
Parker's Kitchen is proud to partner with the Wrdw Project to ensure that local injured veterans receive the life-changing programs and services they need. Please round up at checkout and we'll match your donation.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, new calls detailing the moments deputies spring into action after gunshots ring out in downtown Augusta.
Good evening, I'm Wrdw.
And I'm Zayna Halliburton. First tonight, a brewing political battle in Richmond County.
Tonight, incumbent Sheriff Richard Roundtree is going head-to-head with challenger Eugene Brantley ahead of Tuesday's primary election runoff. One forum just wrapped up, and another is set to begin in just 30 minutes. Our Hallie Turner joins us live here. Hallie, what are some of the hot-button topics the candidates discussed tonight?
Yeah, well, in front of a full house, they touched on topics from putting more officers in the community, youth violence, conditions in the jail, and other issues facing Augusta. Both candidates making a final pitch to voters ahead of Tuesday's runoff. Sheriff Richard Roundtree highlighting his experience. He spent the last 12 years as Richmond County Sheriff and stresses Augusta is a safe place. Another topic Sheriff Roundtree hit on is community engagement and getting to kids at a younger age.
When you talk about youth violence, at that point, we were talking about 18, 19-year-olds committing horrible crime. Now, when you talk about youth violence, you're talking about 13, 14-year-olds right here in this community. So our thing has to be to engage these kids at a younger age.
His opponent, Eugene Brantley, criticized the culture in the Richmond County Sheriff's Department and the conditions in the detention center. He also believes community engagement starts with more deputies in the streets.
So I think it's very important that we get back to community policing and putting our officers back in these communities where they have some hands-on experience to kind of quell some of the problems that we're facing.
Kicks off right here at First Baptist Church of Augusta tonight at 6:30. People are starting to roll in now, and we'll have more news all on this tonight on News 12 at 11 o'clock.
Thanks for that update, Hallie. It's really going to be interesting to see how this runoff plays off. Something that was not mentioned in this first forum was the downtown Augusta shooting, but of course we plan to have more on the 911 calls from that frantic night.
Switching gears to weather now as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. It's a new day today, but the same image that we've had all week here, Riley.
It really has been.
Thanks, Riley. New tonight, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office says they're looking for this shooting suspect. They believe Brandon Francis is connected to the incident that happened on Monte Carlo Drive early Sunday morning. He's known to be in the Hephzibah area. Deputies say to consider him armed and dangerous. If you know where he is, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
Terrified calls for help just seconds after gunfire rang out in downtown Augusta. New 911 calls and radio traffic are getting more insight about the chaotic shooting last weekend.
Dispatch to all units, hold the town. P45.
You can hear that in the voice of the deputies there. Sydney Hood joins us live in the newsroom. What else have you learned from these calls, Sydney?
Well, it's chilling listening to the conversation between Richmond County deputies and dispatch. One deputy called in gunfire, and then within a matter of seconds, chaos erupted. And we want to warn you, what you're about to listen to may be upsetting. Just a morning shooting has sparked conversations on whether downtown is safe. The mayor, sheriff, and some commissioners say yes. It's also raised the question about police presence downtown. Sheriff Roundtree says there is a presence, but some business owners disagree. Mayor Johnson said he called the governor for help from Georgia State Patrol.
And just a chaotic scene there, like you described, Sydney, to hear those 911 calls, to hear those officers, those deputies speak in that instance. I mean, it's incredible sound just to listen to that.
It really is, and you can just feel all of the emotion in their voice. You feel like you're there downtown with them as all of this is unfolding.
This could have been so much worse, and thankful for those deputies for stepping up. Sydney, thank you for that insight into a very chaotic scene last weekend.
In other news happening here, new technology is set to completely transform how burn and wound patients in Augusta recover. It's almost something out of a movie. Doctors can now spray on skin cells, cutting recovery time, pain, and scarring for patients.
The JMS Burn Center was the first in the world to use this technology. Our Kennedy Payne got to see the procedure in action.
The RECELL GO system is designed to treat burns and full-thickness wounds. The technology sets itself apart by using less of the patient's own skin cells and automating the process, improving efficiency in the operating room.
What we want to do is just be able to provide the best care to our patients and take them from something that can be sometimes devastating to bringing a patient not only through the burn, but bringing it back and having a good quality of life.
Sean Fagan, the chief medical doctor at JMS, said this can be used for any type of burn or wound, regardless of size.
We care for a large amount of smaller burns, and smaller burns are just as important as the larger burns in terms of attaining closure and controlling that discomfort afterwards.
The first procedure was done on May 31st. 11 procedures have been done since then, helping heal 7 patients overall. Dr. Niraj Doshi of RECELL GO wants to see it help people across the country.
Now, the whole point of us developing this so that it's automated is the fact that it becomes a lot easier to adopt across hospitals in the U.S.
In Augusta, Kennedy Payne on your side.
And that's all taking place right here at home. Initial concepts for the system began 3 years ago. Now the JMS Burn Center has 16 units. Each unit can be used up to 200 times, helping hundreds of patients right here in the CSRA.
Also new tonight, parents voicing their concerns about the Schofield Middle School band room. Tuesday's school board meeting bringing talks of taking over the room for office space. Now, Aiken County officials are clearing the air tonight. In a statement given to News 12, the district says in part increasing adult occupancy of the wing is part of an effort to curtail the unsafe behaviors that some students have engaged in that area. Another option being explored is a possible relocation of the band room to a space within the main campus, which was formerly utilized as a synergistic laboratory. Advocates for the band program worry about what this says for the future of the arts in schools.
We as a community are worried that the lack of support for the arts in our area could start spreading, and we're seeing that a little bit, and we just don't want it to get out of hand, and we just want to make sure that we're truly doing what the state website said, which was making sure our students have an educational environment.
The district says the incoming principal is looking forward to enhancing the arts. You can read the district's full statement on our website, wrdw.com.
A local nonprofit will take that bike you're no longer using. Compass for Hope is working to bring change in the lives of those facing homelessness. The nonprofit provides food, showers, clothes, laundry services, and more recently, bikes. At the beginning of the year, they received requests of people wanting bikes. The organization started buying some online, and as time went on, the need increased. They started to spread the word about their bicycle ministry, and people began donating to the cause. So far, they have given out about a dozen and have 30 people right now on a waiting list. Compass for Hope serves around 100 people every Sunday downtown in need, and this is just one more way they're fulfilling their mission of bettering lives.
We're trying to get them a hand up and not necessarily a hand out, and so we're wanting to get them transportation. A lot of them are working now, and we're wanting to get them to and from work a lot more efficiently.
They help a lot of men, so bikes for them are really what they're needing currently. They'll also take in bikes that may need a minor fix. And check this out. Compass for Hope works with Andy Jordan's Bicycle Warehouse. The business helps Compass for Hope clients with minor bike repairs or flat tires as needed. And they tell me they tend to see a lot of people coming in on a pretty regular basis needing those fixes.
Great to see a local business stepping in to help out. A huge issue here. Transportation is a big issue, so great that they're getting some bikes to some of these people. 30 people waiting on the waiting list.
Yeah.
It might not seem like a lot, but it is.
And you know, as I was downtown today, I noticed a number of people actually on bikes. So there really is a need, and people really do want these bikes. So just think, as you're cleaning out your garage, your storage, maybe there's a bike that you're not using but someone else could benefit from.
Absolutely. Andy Jordan will also accept donations of bikes for Compass for Hope. For more information on this, you can head to our website. We have a way that you can donate and volunteer as well.
Still ahead after the unthinkable, one business in Aiken says they're bouncing back from the ashes. This story and more next on News 12 at 6.
And we are just a touch hotter this afternoon, expecting that trend to continue Friday into our weekend. Have a look at it just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Month with auto pay and paperless billing.
Wow.
Please join me for a live educational webinar where I'll break down every aspect of Medicare. I promise you'll walk away feeling confident and prepared to take the next step on your Medicare journey. It's free to join, and you can sign up right on our website, ru64.com.
Taking a live look at the state line here, GDOT says to expect a lane closure tonight on I-20 eastbound from exit 200 in Georgia to exit 1 in South Carolina. The right lane will close at 10 a.m. and that runs until 7 a.m. as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale.
And not looking too bad for crews out there tonight working on I-20, and hopefully that bridge does finish up here over the next several months. But another hot afternoon for us. We did see it does look just slightly cooler by the middle of next week.
Okay, thank you, Riley. New tonight, one Aiken business is bouncing back months after a fire brought their operations to a halt. Back in March, an electrical fire damaged several businesses on Hain Avenue.
One of those stores being True Aiken, a popular clothing store. As of today, they are back in business in a sweet location.
Our Julius Evans was there for opening day.
Sarah Dodge says the goal is to have a space for people in Aiken to relate with.
I personally felt there was a need for it. We had visited Aiken about 5 years ago, and on our visits, we were really kind of looking for a store that had a lot of different Aiken stuff.
So she's taking it upon herself to create that with designs like these.
Yeah, it's just a funny saying that a lot of people in Aiken, we've heard that say that.
Dodge was only open for 10 weeks before the unthinkable happened, but it was a reminder from her supporters that kept her pushing forward.
But I kind of thought about it and thought, no, we've had such a good response, and we had such a positive outpouring from the community of people really supporting us.
Where one door closed, another one opened for Dodge to continue what she calls her passion.
Ended up just turning that negative into a positive and saying, let's just go for it.
In Aiken, Julius Evans, on your side.
All right, already back open after a few months.
Yeah, it's good to see it back open there.
Yeah, I know a lot
Aiken.
of people are happy about that. And if you are not familiar, they're actually located in the spot where Cindy's Sweet Shop used to be. So the store will be extending its hours until 8 tonight for the reopening. So you still have a couple of hours to get out there and support.
Absolutely. Supporting local business is always a good thing. Well, building a better downtown, we catch up with the Development Authority about what's in store for the city of Augusta.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
The Atlanta Braves know what it is of the Atlanta Braves.
Downtown business owners remain vocal since Saturday's shooting, several of them even showing up to talk with Sheriff Roundtree at the press conference. Our Hallie Turner sat down with Margaret Woodard to find out how they keep businesses happy while continuing to expand growth in downtown Augusta.
More than 50 new businesses and 4 million people experiencing downtown Augusta in 2023 has the Development Authority hungry for more.
Already 2 new restaurants have opened up. In the last couple of weeks, we have 2 that are getting ready to go under construction. Ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings are all over the calendar for the summer. So downtown is really doing well and our future is bright.
And that's because they've kept the same goal on the menu.
That's what we want. What can we do to make it seamless and make it a great place where everyone's going to want to come?
Woodard says if they made it through the pandemic, they can make it through anything. And the last 4 years are proof.
The pandemic did kind of put a hitch in things. That made us all a little bit nervous, but boy, did we survive that and come out, smelling like a rose, really.
And the downtown menu is adding new items almost weekly.
You may get a new housing announcement in the next few weeks. And then, of course, we're trying to get the Lamar building under construction, and we're working on that deal as well. That would be, I think, 78 new market rate apartments right on Broad Street.
And we've heard from so many of these local businesses since Saturday's shooting. They hope that this shooting doesn't define downtown and people will continue to show up and support them.
Exactly. We certainly want more businesses coming to downtown. We know there's so much open space down there.
Absolutely. A great weekend coming up to do that.
On your sideline.
This is the second year in a row the Vaughn Taylor Championship has been held at Bartram Trail Golf Club in Evans, and each of the past 3 days have been filled with incredible performances, which have resulted in 22 players scoring under par for the event. 13-year-old Tyler Newsom had the second best score out of all of our local golfers this year. The Augusta native finished the tournament at 3 over. Last year, when he was 12 years old, Newsom was the youngest player in the field and shot 11 over. Even though he didn't finish today's final round the way he would have hoped, 1 year later he came back and lowered his score by 8 strokes, which is impressive to say the least.
I think it's really amazing that I've improved this much in the past year. I mean, I definitely think I could have gone a lot lower, but I mean, that's golf. I'm not perfect by far, but I'm very proud of myself for improving that much.
As for this year's winners, Michael Hall from South Georgia shot a 5 under 66 in the final round to fly up the leaderboard in style. He had 9 birdies on the round, which helped him overcome a double bogey in the woods on 12, finishing at 9 under in the top spot. California's Victoria Wang is the girls' champion. She had as strong of a finish as I've ever seen. After a double bogey on 16, she rallied with back-to-back birdies on 17 and 18 to clinch her victory at 8 under. I'll have a look at the full local leaderboard tonight at 11.
All right, thanks for covering that for us, Dan. Another great tournament, as always, there at the Vaughn Taylor. Weekend forecast does stay hot in mid-90s both afternoons this weekend. Another quick look at the 7-day just after a short break.
The First Alert Team, the best in Georgia.
Safer streets and community trust are essential. I'm Sheriff Richard Roundtree, and I need your vote on June 18th.
Keep Richard Roundtree as your sheriff, the leader with the experience.
Let's come together June 18th to keep our community safe and stronger than ever.
Cruise into the Roundtree's leadership, gang violence has been reduced.
My major objective has always been to reduce crime and to protect our citizens.
Keep Sheriff Roundtree as your sheriff.
Let's bring it home with your vote on June 18th.
Welcome back, folks. Here's a look from our Thurman Dam Cam. A beautiful end to our Thursday afternoon. Generally clear skies if you're heading out tonight. No radar forecast, and we should stay dry again tomorrow. Temperature's just going to feel a little bit hotter heading into our Friday afternoon. It's this weekend we do bring back some low storm chances, so a heads up. Can't rule out a few stray storms Saturday and Sunday, but that coverage does look very isolated.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick around. We'll have much more news, weather, and sports coming up on 26 News at 7 o'clock.
And then join us back on 12 at 11.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.